Hello everybody, this is the Flying Turk with another review video for you guys. Today we have in front of us the Airbus A300 by INIBUILDS. The A300 is Airbus's first production aircraft and the world's first twin-engine, double-aisle, wide-body airliner developed and manufactured by Airbus from 1971 until 2007. That's quite a long time. The A300 has two underwing podded turbofans, making it the first wide-body airliner. Honestly, I didn't like the A310 that they brought out first, and now I have this one. I fell in love with the A300 series. It's an amazing plane. The details, the design, it's just lovely. We are in this old school Airbus house livery that I got from flightsim.to. This is not stock, keep that in mind. But this has probably be one of my favorite Airbus liveries. Like the colors, the tail, and even Airbus fly-by-wire with the old Airbus logo on the left looks lovely. This should be the Pratt & Whitney one or the General Electric one. I ain't so sure about which one I am flying today, but there are two engine variants when you get this plane, General Electric and Pratt & Whitney. This is General Electric, excuse me, GE. This is the GE variant. They're very similar to one another, only the sounds are a little bit different. When you get this plane, it's delivered with 4 variants in total. You have the General Electric passenger, the Pratt & Whitney passenger. We have the cargo variant for General Electric and a cargo variant or freighter variant for Pratt & Whitney. Honestly, it doesn't matter which one you're flying, they perform very similarly. These engines are very similar in power. The only real difference is the sound, if you ask me. But let's move into our cockpits so we can show you guys how this all looks. Like, if you have flown the A310 that was free with the game for the 40th anniversary, you will be very familiar with this cockpit because it's exactly the same. Everything is the same. We have a little glitch going on here. Let's not mind that. But it's practically the same cockpit. There is not too much different. But I gotta say, this one feels a little bit better and feels a little bit more refined compared to the freeware one we got for the 40th anniversary. It just looks a little bit better. I don't know what it is, but all the buttons and knobs and switches, they have a different hue to them, a different vibe to them. I will do another A310 video soon, so be on the lookout on my channel and you will see what I mean. And we might even do a comparison video soon where we compare the A310 to the A300. I think that's gonna be a good one. But this is our cockpit, this is how it looks. It's practically the same to the other one. Not too much different. It's in general sense it's the same plane. Only that this one, if you look from the outside, has a longer body. It's longer to the front and longer to the back. This one looks a lot better than the A310 if you ask me. Has proper proportions for a plane. Only thing that I think looks a little bit wonky on the A300 series is the body size. The wide body, I don't know. It looks a little bit weird. Or it's the placement of the wings or the shape of the wings. I honestly can't get can't get to say what's a little bit weird on this, but yeah, it looks beautiful though. But it looks a little bit strange. But I loved how the nose looks. Has a Boeing-esque nose. Reminds me of the 767 a little bit. I don't know why. These windows look a little bit weird from the side, but from the front I understand it. It gives proper view for the pilots. The engines are extremely well modeled by INIBUILDS. Honestly, I have nothing to complain about INIBUILDS. They do an amazing job modeling these planes and making them perform very well in Microsoft Flight Simulator. But let's move back into the cockpit. We have, as you know, all the instruments just like the other one, the MCDUs just like the other one, and these thingies that work just like the other one, like the A310. We have an EFB that's a lot better than the A310s. This is a proper iPad instead of a... I don't know what to call the other one, but it looked weird. It performed well, but it looked weird. We have a lot of options. You can get your flight from SimBrief. Let me see. We can get ground equipment, and you gotta be careful with the doors because, like, if we arm them, now you see they're armed. They're all green. You can open up all the doors. Let me disarm them for a moment. I don't know if it will do it now. Now it's opening normally. Look, nothing going on. But what they have modeled extremely nicely in this one is you can arm the doors, and let's open the one to the right. Oh, it's not doing it. Nope, it's not doing it. You have the slides on it that pop open and pop down. It's not doing it for me now. Let me see why it's not doing it. You can open the cargo doors, you can toggle or remove chokes, toggle jetway, remove GPU. Let's remove the GPU. Let's remove the chokes. Let's put parking brake on so that we don't roll away. You can toggle catering and luggage. Like, it gives you basic controls for inside and outside thingies. You can get pushback. You can adjust the cabin lighting from here. A lot of things you can do. You can get your weight and balance performance. Like, if you can import it from SimBrief, or you can apply it manually. After you update it from SimBrief, you got to press apply. We can get takeoff performance, lovely. Landing performance, super useful. With aircraft maintenance, like, this is something very nice. You can open up all these things. You can even stow the ram air turbine if you deploy it. Let's deploy it and let's see how that looks. Look, this is the ram air turbine deploying. We have opened up the engine cowlings so you can look inside how the engine looks. Super lovely attention to detail. We also have a guy working on the APU on the back. You can see him here. He has to remove the pen first. Let's say, I love how this plane looks. I wish the A310 did this as well. Let's go back inside. You can close all these things up again. And by pressing this you can stow the ram air turbine. Where is the thingy? Yep, it's going back up, as you can see, and the door is closing. Hey, what was that? Ah, that's the fuel panel, right? Yep, this is the fuel panel. A little door opening and closing. Lovely attention to detail. I gotta say, I love INIBUILD for this. I hope their A350 will have these kind of features as well. Looking forward to that one. You have a map, super useful for all, for being aware where you are. You know, like, you need that. If you have Navigraph, you can view your charts from here. You can calibrate your throttle, super useful tool as well. And you have settings. Here you can find a few settings and adjust them to your liking. There is one thing that I highly recommend opening up though, and by the way, you can set volumes, like exterior engines. Amazing. This is very good. Like, this is something we need with a lot of add-ons. If you're especially like streaming or filming like I am doing, then it's useful to turn down certain sounds if they're overwhelming. There is one setting if you're playing this plane and if you don't have a set up tiller control for certain keys. Let me see. Ah, here. Rudder controls tiller. I have it to yes. It's comes standard with no. Highly recommend setting this to yes so that when you press the rudder pedals, it's not doing anything now because the plane isn't started. But then when you press the rudder pedal to the left, the nose wheel turns to the left as well. That's the tiller. And if you press to the right, it goes to the right. Normally it's separate. Real pilots use this thing to go to the left and to the right. But if you're playing with an Xbox controller or if you have certain setup and you don't want to mess around too much, the tiller control works just fine. And we also have panel states in this plane. You press this thing key here, like the settings icon, and you can choose panel states. Let's do ready for takeoff. Let's confirm. And you can hear the plane starting up. And while he's starting up, let us go backside, to the backside and show you the cabin of the plane. This is where your coffee is being prepared, where all the food is stowed. This would be our first class. I think it's first class or business class. Nah, it's more like business class. This is our business class seating. This is another place where the cabin crew would hang out and get your food ready. And these are the economy seats. Honestly, INIBUILDS did a very good job modeling this plane. I love it. There's even a big ass TV over here. The A310 has little screens on the back of the seats. This one doesn't. I suppose the A310 got some updates over the years that this one just did not get. And let's show you the wing view. The wing looks super beautiful. I love these fan style winglets like the A320, A319 or 21, like the older variants, not the Neo variants. I love how the engine looks, how everything is modeled. Even the scratches on the window, they look super realistic. Let's move back to our cockpit. Let's close up the door. You can see our engines. Let me turn down game volume a little bit more for you guys so you can still hear me. But it has a loud cockpit on the ground, I'm not gonna deny it. It can be a little bit overwhelming sometimes with the sound, but after you've taken off it gets a lot better. Ground equipment, let's push back. The pushback tug is coming around. Ooh, and by the way, I'm gonna change something quickly. I want to show you the cabin at night. Like, this is your cockpit at night, all the instrument lighting. I love it. You can even turn up more, you can turn on backlights, just like the A320. This is just a masterpiece. How the lighting works, just lovely. It's a true airliner feel. And even these lights work, like the seat belt and no smoking. You can turn them on and off and you can see the difference. Like, this is just intense. Let's cheat a little bit. There we go. It's a lovely job by INIBUILDS. The A320 I didn't like as much, but this one, this is really my cup of tea. But let's change the weather again. Let's go to daytime. Let's push back, and we want to show you a little pushback performance. Let's get rid of this screen. And I installed a mod from flightsim.to that enables, well, not enables, but it makes the nose go down a little bit more compared to stock. Because stock it's standing higher a little bit more compared to this. It just puts a little bit more weight up front, I think, which makes the nose go a little bit closer to the ground. You know, it pushes it down, and I like the effect. It's very subtle, but I think it's necessary. Just gives a more realistic feeling to the plane. Okay, now we should turn left. Let's say, guys, I wasn't planning on getting this plane, but honestly, since I saw my good friend Abdul fly it, and I thought, if he flies it, it has to be good. And I got it, and I'm definitely not disappointed. Highly recommend this one. Like, it's just a complete package. It's a lot better than the A300 or A310, excuse me. This feels complete. This feels refined. The other one just didn't have it for me. We're not really gonna request any clearance. We're not doing nothing. 1, 2, flaps 2 have been set. We're going a bit too fast. Let's brake a little. And let's take a right over here. Taxiing this bird is definitely not hard because the wheels are located actually in the center, and the nose wheel is not too far from the cabin. Like it's to the back, it's under the door, but it doesn't feel like it's an extremely big plane. It feels like you're taxiing the 737 almost. We are not gonna mess around with any of these settings. These are the autopilot knobs and all the thingies. This is like a 737 almost. Feels very similar. The top panel is not what you're used to with the A320neo or any A320, to say it like that. It's a little bit different. You gotta follow everything, read everything to know where it is. Like, it's not a jump in and go plane, but if you have flown the 737, or excuse me, if you've flown the A320 from Phoenix or A320 from Asobo even, you will be able to manage this plane. It's not the most difficult, but it takes some getting used to. Today we are a road pilot, we're not requesting any clearance, we're just going to the runway and we're gonna take off and show you the performance of this plane, show you how it sounds, show you how it feels. And let's give it throttle. This should be 50%. Let's turn up game volume so you can hear this. We are way too high. Let's push it down. But honestly, guys, this is it for this review. This is the A300 by INIBUILDS. Lovely plane. And by the way, do you hear that? You can hear the stabilizer strip moving up and down. Lovely. Let's say I love this plane. I'm looking forward to doing some long haul flights with it and streaming with you guys. Even some fat sim sessions in this one. I think it's gonna be awesome. Very lovely plane, very good performance, love the sounds and looks. Definitely not an ugly one. Like I said, it's not an ugly plane. The proportions look a little bit weird to me. I never got used to the A300 look, but it looks a heck of a lot better compared to the A310. Like, this feels, looks and sounds like a plane. The A310 was a little bit lackluster and had some performance issues for me, but I'm very happy that I got the A300. I always wanted to fly this plane, I always wanted to see how it looks and how it feels. And it's a simulator, you won't get the real experience, but at least you can get close to it, right? But guys, that's it for this review. Highly recommend this plane. Looking forward to your comments. Let me know what you think about it in the comment sections down below. And if you're new to my channel, make sure to like, comment and subscribe to support the Flying Turk on this YouTube journey. Well, for now, I wish you safe landings, safe flights, take care, and see you guys next time in another one. Bye bye.